what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' Podcast, episode number 2, officially. Yes. Welcome back, everybody. Today, we have quite a bit of news, man, throughout the week. There's a lot that's happened that's been dropping on us, which is exciting stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, and also, we also have a Grudge full review. It is going to be spoiler warning, just so that you guys know that whenever we do these reviews, we like to include spoilers so that way we can kind of get more, give you guys a full experience of how we felt about the movie, instead of, tiptoeing. I don't like to tiptoe. I like to get straight to it. Yeah. But before we get into that, how was your weekend, dude? How was your week?
I mean, overall, it's pretty good. I appreciate all the love and support we've gotten for the podcast and everything like that.
It's been overwhelmingly positive. I'm super happy about it. So thank you guys again for watching and retweeting, sharing it on on social medias and stuff. It's been really cool. It was honestly, I was amazed when we hit 100 views on the first episode.
Oh yeah.
We're already past that. So I
was glad too, because I had an editing mistake happen last minute, and I had a panic attack about getting it uploaded on time. It's the first episode. And I'm glad that got taken care of. And
not only that, I know some of you guys actually DM'd me on either Twitter or Snapchat, letting me know that there was parts of the video where it was blacking out. So we apologize for that, but just yell at Tim next time.
It won't happen again. It won't happen again. It was my screensaver coming on.
He's got it. But be sure to say thank you, Tim, for all the hard work he's been putting into the editing. He does all the editing stuff. For me, I'm just more in charge of the news-related stuff and also the reactions. Hopefully, we'll probably get maybe some Tim reactions. We'll see if he's got time. You know, I know from as far as reactions go, I'm gonna stay on top of that. Hopefully, I can put some of those out. I wanted to do a reaction of the X-Men one, but or New Mutants. I guess I should be specific. But I didn't think it was worth my time, so I think I would rather just wait till the film drops and then we'll probably maybe do a.
Right, yeah. And trust us when we say, if you guys want to reach out to us on Twitter and let us know when a trailer drops and you definitely want to see our reaction, please shoot messages at us, comment on YouTube, send us messages on Twitter. You can DM Jimmy or me or whatever happens, and we'll gladly get a reaction out for you guys.
Absolutely. It's either movies or TV shows or anything. Just let us know, guys, if you guys want a reaction out of us, and we'll get on top of it for sure.
How was your week?
I'm glad to, dude. It was eventful. I did a lot of streaming on Twitch. I've been playing through Final Fantasy VII for the first time, which is has a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people.
I've heard a lot of people claim it as some of their favorite game, their favorite game of all time.
Yeah, man, it's that big of a thing where it's some people would mention Zelda Ocarina of Time, others will mention Final Fantasy VII. Mario 64, and there's just those are man, high standards, you know what I mean? So I went into it kind of high standards, and I have not been disappointed yet. Honestly, it still lives up to the hype, and it's got me excited for the remake that's coming out later on.
That remake looks really clean. It looks so good. I never played a Final Fantasy game. I've had no interest just because I don't like the combat system in the games.
Right. The whole turn-based thing, right?
Right. But the way that remake looks, I would be willing to try and play it. So I'm excited to see how you like it and how well it plays and stuff. And then I might pick it up too.
Yeah. So other than that, I just been streaming a lot, spending time with family, trying to stay on top of, movie related news. And then actually, finally watching The Grudge last night, which we will get into that for sure. But first off, let's go ahead and get started with some news here. Okay. Tim, if you want to go ahead and start off, I'll go ahead and give mine.
Absolutely. All right. So for all you weebs out there, rejoice. We have a news from looks like Hypebeast on Instagram, but Studio Ghibli, or is it Ghibli? I never know. So let us know if it's Ghibli.
I've always said Ghibli, so but some people have said Ghibli. So.
Yeah, I think it's like
tomato, tomato.
Yeah, it's just kind of interchangeable. Anyway, they're going to be working in 2020. This annual New Year's message. They're going to be doing 2 new movies in production this year, which is amazing. My favorite of their films, bar none, is Spirited Away. I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's it's really good, man. Yeah. For me, for some particular reason, I don't know what it is. Totoro for me. My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah,
that one and Kiki Delivery Service. Those two I have the most nostalgia for.
And Howl's Moving Castle is really, really good too. I love that one as well.
You know, it's the thing. I haven't seen a lot of their catalog of movies. I know they have a bunch. You know, I've just seen the main one, which was which was the one you mentioned again? God, I just had a
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Yeah. Obviously, watched that one multiple times. And then the My Neighbor Totoro. I've seen Ponyo. And I think what was the other one I mentioned? Get them already. I have brain farts here. But yeah. Anyways, great movies. Honestly, I'm enjoying them. So I cannot wait. Like we're getting 2 brand new ones released.
Yeah. Well, they said that they're in production. I don't know how long, because the animation process, especially like Studio Ghibli, is very, very high quality. I don't know how fast their production cycle is, whether it takes a few years. I would imagine so, because they have a lot of polish when they work.
Yeah.
But if it is somehow 2020, that's awesome. But I would be really surprised if that's the case. I'm gonna guess like 2022 or 21 maybe. But I don't know. Like I think for me, in my opinion, Studio Ghibli is best at the personal stories and kind of just having a sense of wonder about them. There are particular ones on like War. I can't remember which one that one was called, but it was kind of not my thing. It was just kind of slow for me. But the ones like Totoro or Howl's Moving Castle or Kiki's Delivery Service, or Spirited Away, or all those are absolute blasts. I know that Ponyo was kind of wishy-washy, but overall I enjoyed that.
I think that was the last one I seen was Ponyo.
Yeah,
and that was a little too slow for me.
Yeah.
The movies are slow, but they have a charm to them. You know what I mean?
It's so heartwarming. I don't know why. It's just perfect. It's magic whenever they put their mind to it. So I'm excited, but
nonetheless, man, I'm down for that. And I know usually whenever they release these movies, it's usually selected theater. So if and when I would like to review them, hopefully if they have them near us.
Right. That's the thing too. Like, I live in such a rural area of Missouri that some, like, where it's limited releases, like I know 1917, I've wanted to watch that for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
That's a movie that's like 3-hour drive out of my way to see right now. I know, like, it sucks. So some movies I may not be able to get to unless I really plan a full weekend out to just go see this movie, which I'd be willing to do.
Great things about 1917 too, man. So
I heard it's filmed like it's all one shot or one take, which is crazy.
I hopefully we can get a review out for you guys, even if it's like a later review. It'd be nice to get one out because I've been hearing solid things about that film.
Yeah,
and that's a 2019 release, so technically not this year, but apparently, not to go off topic here for what Studio Ghibli stuff, but 1917 was only released in certain countries and certain states too. Like, it's barely being released now, like more. It's being opened up to like more theaters and more areas.
Well, I know
recently.
This is like a perfect transition to the next piece of news. If you don't mind, I can go ahead.
All right, so that's it for Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they've announced is that they're working on two movies. 2 movies are now in production this year. But as far as talking about like 1917, it won at the Golden Globes, which is that topic. I'm gonna try and go through Golden Globes here, pick out some highlights.
There we go, Golden Globes hype.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about that.
Yes. Honestly, before we get into it, do you like the Golden Globes?
I have mixed feelings about both the Golden Globes and the Oscars. They're fun to kind of watch if you're in the mood for it, but they take a long time to get through.
They really do. And you know what's funny too? A lot of these actors, even from watching their interviews or their speeches, seem like they're fucking miserable being there, but they have to be there. It's just, that's the only thing that I really don't like watching about it. But I do like the fact that they get praise and rewards for their performances and stuff like that. So that's the thing that I look forward to the most, is that, oh cool, they got an award for that specific.
Like 1917, because you mentioned it was a 2019 movie. It won Best Motion Picture for Drama, which that's cool. That's dope. I'm excited for that. It went up against Irishman, Joker, Marriage Story, and The Two Popes, which I've seen.
Oh, dude, what a lineup!
4 out of the 5, with The Two Popes being the one that has.
I didn't even hear about it.
Anthony Hopkins, I believe he's in that one. So like, that's a stacked deck. Like,
that is a tough, some tough competitors out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that another thing that was kind of interesting too is that Joker actually walked away with 2 Golden Globes.
Oh, 2.
It got best performance by an actor in a drama, which was Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, which I 100% agree with that. That was well done on his part.
I felt that too. I was. I saw it come up on my phone. I was like, yes, man, he deserved that shit. He deserved it, you know.
Which his speech was wild too. I mean,
I saw the clip of that speech. It was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know if he might just have anxiety, but
either that or he's just trolling. He likes to troll. He's known for that kind of shit too. He's a weird character, but I like him for some reason.
He's honest. He's just I think he dropped 2 F-bombs, and they had like censored that in his speach. And I know that.
I saw that.
Yeah, he was calling out people too as well. But the other thing Joker won was its score. It won the best musical score, which I think also is really deserving because that score.
I liked most of it. The only one I didn't like that much was the stair scene music.
Really?
That was the only one I felt like they could have picked a better song. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not mad at it.
Right.
But I feel like they could have picked a better song for that moment. But I got the reason why they chose that specific piece. It was because he's come to terms that he is now fucking lost his mind, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's
wild.
What the whole thing is, you know? But, you know, I felt like they could have picked just a little bit or something. But I'm okay with that. I'm happy that it won an award for the entire score because, it's the music definitely sets the tone for certain scenes. It was good.
Yes. Not only that, but like the way it's so somber at points, and then it just kind of snaps into like this, oh God, tension moment. It just worked really well with the performance as a whole because like Joaquin Phoenix throughout the whole movie was very like thing happened. Oh, now we're here. How the hell did we get there? And that it's a natural transition of it's so good. It was well done.
Right.
But yeah, there was tons of awards given away. There's too many to really cover here. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Oh, I want to get your thought of this. So Best Motion Picture Award went to Missing Link. Did you even see that one at all?
That was the Bigfoot one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that one, but I did hear a lot of good things about it last year.
Really?
Which caught me off guard, but yeah, it's an animated film, right?
Yeah, it went up against Frozen 2, The Lion King, which is funny because a lot of people said it was a live action movie, and it's in the animation category.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Then there's Toy Story 4, and then How to Train Your Dragon 3, I believe, is what it is. But
okay, so yeah, I'm not mad at that. Then I want to watch The Missing Link because honestly, I wouldn't have given it to Toy Story 4. I don't want to go off topic, but I really did not fucking like Toy Story.
Yeah,
I didn't see the point of it. I really did not see the point of it.
Toy Story 3 ended so perfectly. I wept.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that I watched Toy Story 4. Upset. I was kind of pissed off because, and I know this is a kid's movie, right? But it's just I have nostalgia for these kids' movies because I grew up watching Toy Story, you know? And there was a specific scene in Toy Story 3 where Andy gives the little girl, Bonnie, his Woody doll, and he's giving her like this whole, like he was reluctant about giving it to her, but he's giving her like this whole little thing telling him that, you know, best friend is a kid, whatever. And part 4 is literally about how Bonnie doesn't give a shit about Woody. I was like, that fucking scene does not mean anything anymore. Then, like the whole scene was just pointless.
Yep.
And it just
where's the outrage, Jimmy, on Twitter? Come on. Grab your pitchforks.
Man, I'm upset about Toy Story. But anyways, I'm happy. Missing Link. Hell yes, I'm gonna watch it. Good for them.
And I guess the last thing about Golden Globes I'll say, because there's tons to say, is Ricky Gervais, his opening speech. Did you catch any of his opening speech or anything to do with that?
I did. You want to talk about that?
Well, there's a lot to talk about. I'll just say the man did not hold anything back. I think he went full, dare I say, Mike Tyson with each and every punch that he made at the expense of the audience. I mean, it was woo. So I don't know how to take it.
Yeah,
I think
it got awkward. It got awkward.
Yeah,
it really got awkward, man. It was funny, but it got fucking awkward. It got awkward for them, because when they pan over to the audience, the actors, like it's just it's you can tell they're uncomfortable. The fuck.
I know Tom Hanks kind of shocked me because there was like 4 moments where he's like, I don't know if I like that. Like he's having moments where he's like,
a little cringe. They're all cringy.
Yeah. So it was interesting to say the least. But yeah, I don't know how I feel overall about Golden Globes or Oscars or if one's better or not. But overall, I think it's fun. At least it's like kind of just why not have it? I guess. But overall, it's a good time. Did you want to cover any of yours before I continue on other news?
Yeah, let me go ahead and touch on a couple things here because we got a lot of comic book related movie news.
Yeah, we do.
TV show. And one that's not related to, comics, which we will get to that. But the first one I wanted to touch on that just got dropped on us today, it is rumored, it is that they're in talks that Christian Bale is going to be casted in the Thor Love and Thunder movie. Which caught me off guard when I saw that come up today. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, what do you think?
It's going to be weird because that's Batman.
That's Batman. I was thinking the same thing. Batman!
So I wonder if he's going to have any moments. They're going to just have fun with that a little bit. Very subtle. They might even have just a shadow. Any
particular character you would want him to play in Thor or in that particular movie? Because I have one in mind that that is not Thor related, but is part of the Marvel universe that I feel like could make sense.
Okay. Well, I know that, I don't know if this is the one that you're thinking of, but I saw on Twitter because I looked at it, and a lot of people are hoping that he's Beta Ray Bill. Is that the one you were thinking of?
No, actually. Ooh, okay. Interesting.
So Beta Ray Bill's really cool because, I mean, he looks really weird. I mean, he's got like the snout thing. He was kind of teased in Thor Ragnarok. There was like that, what was his name? The Game Master.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one that looks like kind of like a horse kind of.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking interesting if he just does a voice. That'd be cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be weird because, like I said, it's Batman. I don't know what. I just hope to God they don't have him have a moment where he has like a sore throat and he sounds like, "Where is she?" Please.
Nah, I doubt it. Yeah, it's unrelated. But that would be funny though. But no, that excites you, man. Christian Bale in the Marvel universe? Fuck yes, I am down with that, dude. One of the other ones that I was I didn't mention to you, but like the one I was kind of hoping he would play.
Yep.
But I feel like he might be a little too old for that because I'm pretty sure they're gonna want someone young because they're probably gonna go long term with that character. Is
Sign your life away. Adam Warlock, yo.
Like, but cool. I feel like he would have to be like Batman Begins kind of ripped, and I don't know if he wants to commit to something.
Hey, he's done crazy things. Like I know right before Batman Begins happened, he did what was that one where he was literally like almost skin and bones?
Yeah. Oh, The Machinist. Yeah, I believe it was The Machinist. Yeah.
And then very quickly after that, he bulked up to Batman Begins. So he's got the drive for it. That's a good idea, Jimmy.
I would love it. I would love him as Adam Warlock. Hell yes. It was him, and then there was another particular actor by the name that I'm down for Adam Warlock is give me a second here. Let me pull him up. He was from The Social Network. I forget he's one of the tall twins.
Okay. I was about to yell at you if you were gonna say who I thought you were gonna say from that movie.
Not Jesse.
No, I was like, please, God.
Absolutely not.
Man, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah, I got him. His name is Army Hammer, I think.
Army Hammer.
Army Hammer? Yeah, Army Hammer.
Okay.
I will send you the link right now and let me know what you think, and then you can put it up on the bottom, so that way people have an idea who the heck I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I see him. I just Army and then last name is Hammer.
Yes.
Yep.
I think he would be pretty good for Adam Warlock too, just because he kind of just has that look to him, and he's really tall too. Like I'm assuming he's like in a 6 foot, something like that. But I just know like I think he has the chops for it. Him and Christian Bale for sure. I would be.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I think what it's interesting too is that now that you mentioned Adam Warlock, they teased him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes, I did. Apparently, they're not even going to talk up, or they probably might bring him up, but apparently the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has nothing to do with Adam Warlock. So, that's just from what they said.
Weird.
So that'd be a good thing to maybe have him either cameo in there or introduce him in either one of the other Marvel movies, right? So
I thought he was going to show up in Infinity War or Endgame when we were going into those movies, just because
there was a whole bunch of rumors of like potential characters that they had put out that could possibly be in the movie. Like one of them was Adam Warlock for like the very end, but it wouldn't make sense because I don't think they wanted to introduce him just like that.
He just pops in. He's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm gonna fix it."
But who the fuck is that? I mean, for nerds like us, we're gonna be like, "Yo, it's Adam Warlock." But some of them are gonna be like, "Who the hell is that dude?"
Then you'd have a lot of people going like, "Oh, that's who that is," and then they pretend to look it up real quick. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to go ahead and segue here to another Marvel related news. Marvel Studios is rumored to have gained full control back of Hulk and Namor from the Universal Pictures. So that is good news, man. That is some good news.
I want so desperately. I so desperately want one of the big things to happen in Marvel sometime soon is World War Hulk. Did you ever?
Yes.
Yes.
And I just want either that or I want Hulk versus Wolverine.
Like that could be on the way for that.
Because I want that. I want that as its own movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. World War Hulk, man.
That'd be a good way to introduce Wolverine.
That's true. That's true.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's a lot of things you could do with Hulk because a lot of people just see him as like this kind of big Jekyll and Hyde character. But Marvel has done a lot of things with the character in the comic books, and obviously World War Hulk being one of my favorites. And they kind of have the setup for that because, like, I'm going to go super nerd moment here. Bear with me, people.
Nerd out, my friend. That's the point of the podcast.
In Endgame,
yeah,
Bruce / Hulk hybrid dude. I don't know what you want to call him.
Right.
He's the one who does the initial snap, which they've explained is an immense amount of gamma radiation.
Oh yeah, he does the first snap.
Mm-hmm. So
to snap everybody back to life, pretty much. Yeah.
So my theory is the way they could potentially do the World War Hulk thing, because he has to get like either extremely angry or you can make him like overcharged, is that Hulk doesn't like that he's a hybrid. He wants to be in control still or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he has all that stored up gamma radiation that he's just going to absolutely rage out with. I don't know. But I would love it if we had a World War Hulk kind of scenario for the MCU, obviously. This could be post introducing the new X-Men, the new Fantastic Four, like all of it, because he just runs through them all in World War Hulk. So it'd be really cool. But I'm thrilled that if this is true, I believe this is rumored though, right?
This is it's rumored.
Yeah.
So I think it's a strong possibility. You know what I mean? Because these two particular characters, they have. I'm assuming they have, films lined up for them or things that they want to do with these two characters for sure. So
and Namor,
I'm going to say yes. It is. It says rumored, but I strongly believe that yes, they just probably haven't announced that they have control.
Right. Because you reminded me who Namor was, because I actually don't remember a lot, if anything.
So I mentioned Hulk and Namor. So do you know who Namor is? Just out of curiosity.
You've mentioned it. I'm forgetting already. Go ahead and remind me.
Yeah, Namor is pretty much like he's like Marvel's like Aquaman, kind of like he's like the king of,
that's right,
of the ocean or whatever. But he's I don't think he's a bad guy. I want to say he's like an anti-hero. Like,
yeah, I hold on, Namor Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It says Namor the Submariner is a fictional character. Blah 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 blah. Debuting, the character was created. He goes by Namor the First, the Avenging Son. He is technically a hero.
He's a hero, right? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, but I'm assuming so. I don't know if you guys have known this or have caught this little Easter egg, but they mentioned something in Endgame where it's in the very beginning where Scarlett Johansson is having the meeting with Rocket Raccoon. I forget the one of the leaders of Wakanda.
Right.
And she mentions that there's some earthquakes going on or some things going on underwater that they can't control anything, and earthquakes happening. And so people are speculating that is Namor, and the Black Panther 2 villain is probably going to be Namor versus
that'd be interesting. Do you think that's like in response to DC's Aquaman and the way they pretty much had a success with that movie, and they were like, "There's money."
I don't think it has anything to do with DC. I just think it'd be kind of a cool idea. They probably just thought that it would be a really cool idea to introduce Namor into there. And like I said, he's technically, they're gonna make it seem like he's a villain, but he's not really a villain. You know what I'm saying? Since he's a hero, right?
Well, okay, so I'm having conflict. A lot of people are asking if it's a hero villain. Marvel, I guess, has gone back and forth. Primarily, though, he is a on and off again supervillain.
So he's like an anti-hero. It's just you never know with him, pretty much.
Right.
So I think Namor is probably gonna get introduced into Black Panther 2, which I'd be down with that. You know what I mean?
That'd be interesting for sure. Cool. I wonder too if they were to make a movie about having Namor and everything, like if they would try and shoot it for the same kind of aesthetic look as
I don't
DC's
think
Aquaman.
Namor's gonna have like his own movie, but I do think that he's gonna be a big part of Black Panther. He'll get his introduction and stuff, and that'd be I think that'd be a perfect villain for Black Panther for the next one, at least.
That'd be cool. Because it wouldn't at least be like the Marvel. Their issues with their villains of being, oh, it's me, but you're evil.
Exactly.
Not the whole thing. So that'd be cool.
So that was cool. And Marvel's, hopefully they gain hopefully crossing our fingers, which I think they probably did, but just probably don't want to fully.
Might be behind closed doors.
So Hulk and Namor coming back to the universe. So that'd be great. The next bit of news that I have here before I toss it back over to you is officially has been confirmed today, and I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how you feel about this. Matt Reeves has confirmed that Colin Farrell will star as the Penguin in the Batman movie that he's doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it to. I liked almost all the I like all the casting announcements he's given for the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm all up for all the castings he's been doing.
This one is kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit because Penguin is, I know him, and I'm a little bit biased because I only really know Penguin from the way he's really appeared in Batman the Animated Series and so on, and also the Arkham games, and he's a very short.
And Batman Returns, the with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that one was kind of weird. The flipper hands.
Don't talk about that one, man. I like that one, all right?
Yeah. It's actually really dark.
My favorite Christmas movie. Wow. But yeah. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie, by the way.
Okay, all right, I won't argue. But he's like normally short, kind of chubby, and got a big pointy kind of nose or whatever. At least he's very mobster, and he's got like that heavy Boston accent.
Yeah, and they changed that in the show Gotham, where he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't big. He was just like a scrawny, big nose, and that particular actor. Excuse me, somebody might bring it up in the comments.
Right.
He did a pretty good job as the Penguin, even with his character not even looking like the animated series or the other interpretations that they've had of him before. Which I can see it. I can see it. I was a little weirded out that the fact that Colin Farrell as the Penguin, I would prefer him to play a different character, but I'm gonna stay optimistic and I'm gonna keep open minded. If I can see Robert Pattinson as Batman, I could see Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Well, Robert Pattinson has had a very natural transition, and I think, into becoming Batman, because he started out in Harry Potter. Everyone loved him as Cedric Diggory. Rest in peace. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Then
why are you gonna bring up old shit, man?
Then he got sucked into the wormhole Unless You Love Them, in which case he got elevated into the glorious position of Twilight. I personally do not like those movies, but he's playing a vampire, and Batman's very vampire-y. I mean, he's got a cape, he broods, he's in a cave.
Yeah.
He's scary, so he can
technically... It lines up. It lines up.
It kind of, if you really look at it, it kind of transitions, so it works.
I'm okay with it. Honestly, it took me a little bit to like really think about it, but I think I'm okay with it. I'm happy with Colin Farrell, as a Penguin. So hopefully he brings it.
Oh yeah,
and
I mean,
yeah,
I have nothing but optimism for this because it's not Batflick. Because I kind of liked him.
Any issues. I didn't have any issues with Batflick. I only had issues with him in the not Batman vs Superman. What's the other one? The
Justice League.
Justice League. I had issues with him in that one because that was a completely different Batman than what we got in Batman vs Superman.
180.
Yeah. He was just more humorous, and it's just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah,
that's why a lot of people want the Snyder cut. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, but I have an issue. I have a very heavy issue, and I know I've gotten a lot of flack for this back and forth. I have a heavy issue with Batman blatantly okay with absolute murder. Like, the excuse that he's done it in other live actions, that doesn't really count because that means that they got it wrong as well. Like, there's been multiple instances where Batman and his rogues gallery has been like, hey, try and kill me. Like, that's their line. They're trying to get him to cross the line to kill them, and he won't. So,
and even when he does, it's usually a big deal.
Yeah. And so for him to just kind of casually...
It has happened. It has happened before.
Yes.
Where he's crossed that line, but it's always a big deal for him and just everything. Like, you just feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so that was my biggest issue with Batflick.
I get you on that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of like down for whatever happened here. But I have high faith for this movie, and I do think Colin... what's his last name? Yeah. He's going to do good.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely. I'm going to go ahead and toss it back over to you while, I get everything ready for the next couple.
Well, if in case you weren't sick of Star Wars yet, we got some more news for you. From Culture Crave on Twitter, rumor the next Star Wars film saga will take place during the High Republic era, which is 400 years before Episode 1 in the Skywalker saga. We're going to possibly see Yoda, but he won't be the same Jedi we know as the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. He's most likely, I would assume, this isn't from the rumor, I would assume he's either going to be seen as a Jedi Knight or some other person, maybe even just a Master, or maybe he's going rogue. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but there's a lot of room there because the man died at like 900.
Yeah, so I don't see why they wouldn't put him in the movie, especially with all the Yoda craze right now. This dude is just that's gonna draw people in. I mean, regardless, it's Star Wars. It's always gonna draw people in the seats, but it's gonna draw all the other people that have been watching Mandalorian, including a few people that I know personally that have never watched a lick of Star Wars, but for some reason wanted to watch Mandalorian, and now they're fan.
Wow, that's cool. Is it because of the memes?
It was because of Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda brought in a whole bunch of new fans to the series, dude.
That's dope.
And that makes me happy, you know? Like, that's not a bad thing. You know, like, obviously, you know, the nerds, including myself, be like, well, no, you gotta watch the original trilogy, and then you gotta watch the prequels, and then after you're done graduating, then you can watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that the fact that it's gained the, you know, the success that it has, and, you know, the fact that Yoda is being praised as the man, dude. Baby Yoda is being praised, you know, and that's for its cuteness. I've always liked Yoda as a character. Like, personally, one of the most mysterious characters. I wouldn't mind a standalone Yoda series or a film, personally, because there's so much to do with that character. Like, who the hell is his Jedi Master? Where did he come? There's so much about his race and that specific character that they can do. So, I'm excited. That being said, that there's no point for him not to be in that movie.
True.
You know, like, with all this, you know, hype around the Baby Yoda.
I think that works perfect. And they also said that it's not going to be a trilogy. It's going to be like a series of films set in that era, so that way they're not kind of bound to this one particular concept. They can kind of
that's so good, man.
Branch out, which is good. And
trilogy, please. I'm down with fucking trilogy.
Yeah,
dude.
it's.
I don't think we should definitely steer away from the trilogy thing. Let's just focus on one long standalone film. Like, just give us 2, you know, 3. I wouldn't even be mad at 3 hours, but give us a good 2 hours and a half of just good storytelling, Star Wars. Like, I'm happy.
For sure. And I honestly, like, I'm really happy. Like you mentioned, the people getting pulled into the community, the fan base of Star Wars because of Baby Yoda and all that stuff. And that's more capitalizing on that. But also, interesting things about Baby Yoda have been said by Jon Favreau, where
I like that segue there.
Thank you. Where they mentioned the fact that he does have a name. I think Taika Waititi is the one who confirmed that, but we'll have to wait to get the name from Jon Favreau, and I'm going to guess it's going to happen in season 2.
Ooh, honestly, I don't want, if they do introduce it in season 2, let it be like the last episode.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Not in like the middle of it, just because I like the I don't know how you feel about this, but I like the secrecy and like the
it does make you want more. If you know everything, then you don't really want to watch. So they'll have to kind of play with it.
But I think eventually I'm pretty sure Disney would want him to give out a name, so that way they can make more toys and finally put labels on like Pops and stuff, not just as Baby Yoda.
Yeah, and the
or
fact
the
that
child. It's the child or whatever, you know?
Well, the fact that like people call him Baby Yoda has people like confused. Is he Yoda's kid? And that also was confirmed to not be the case by Jon Favreau.
Oh, they confirmed that too?
Well, I believe so. Yeah, that they said it's not the son of Baby Yoda. That it's actually just it's one of the species, but it's not baby. It's not Yoda's baby. So, like the thought, which that was something else that came up. Like the moment I heard about that, I think you sent that to me. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to think about Yoda having sex. Like, I don't want that image. Just keep him pure. He's the grandpa of Star Wars. Just let me have this. Like, I don't want to think about that. Right. But yeah, so that's that too. I don't know. There's a lot going on in Star Wars, and there's
you know, honestly, them saying that though, it still doesn't confirm whether if it is Yoda himself. It can be his clone. That's still a possibility that's probably just Yoda.
That'd be interesting.
But as a clone, you know, like we don't know that yet. We don't know what's going on with that. They said it wasn't his baby, his child. So maybe it's just him.
Yeah, and then that'd be hilarious if Taika Waititi's like, yeah, he has a name. He'll reveal it, and then Jon Favreau's like, it's Baby Yoda.
Yeah, it's actually just Yoda, but he's a baby.
He's a baby, so that'd be interesting.
It's not baby's Yoda, but
no, exactly.
But
speaking,
that's good.
Final bit of Star Wars news that I have, and then I'll stop. I promise. I know the fan base is like a freaking horrible storm of weather. People have opinions out the wazoo, and we're all on a boat trying to hang on for dear life. But Just hang on a little more, people. IGN also posted a reminder and also kind of talking about what's to be expected from Disney Plus very soon with Disney shows about Star Wars, with Mandalorian Season 2, the Clone Wars Season 7 finale. It's the final bit of that gap between Clone Wars where it ended and the beginning of Episode 3, which is going to be great. They have the Obi-Wan Kenobi series with Ewan McGregor, which is all I'm hoping is going to be fantastic. And then the weird one for me, I don't know how you feel about this, is Cassian Andor, the guy from Rogue One, is getting his own show.
Yeah, I saw when that got announced. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I mean, I kind of do, which is I don't see the point of it.
Right.
I like the character. I obviously love Rogue One. I think that's probably one of the best Star Wars movies. Not the best. Some people have said, "Oh, it's the best." No, I don't think it's the best. It's definitely one of the best ones.
It's good.
In more recent years, yes.
Yeah.
And then I like Diego Luna, which is the actor that plays. Yeah. He's a great actor, man. I love his.
He was intense. The emotional scenes he had, where he had to be like, I've lived through this. And then she's like, there's no talking out your way out of this one. He's like, I don't have to. I felt it. Like, I didn't think it was an actor at all. I was like, my God, he's been through shit. You know? So I imagine that's what they're going to be showing in the show, but I don't know if I need to see it to really feel it anymore. You know, like I'm already there.
I don't know what they're going to do exactly with that character to see what they're going to go with, you know. Obviously it's a prequel before the Rogue One happened because it's, you know, spoiler alert, he dead.
Yeah. That didn't go so well.
It's obviously going to be, you know, during his, you know, time of just him going off on missions or whatever he's going to be doing. We'll see what they do with the character. Do I want it? Did I want it? Not really. I didn't really care, but you know what? Like, I'm up for Star Wars stuff.
It could be good.
I'm okay. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that it's a show. I'm fine with that because that means that it's not going to be, the pacing is not going to be like, oh, hurry up, let's get it done. It's going to be, you know, just thought out, hopefully written well, and giving it to us like in, you know, multiple seasons, not just obviously once. I hope.
I wanted to ask you something. Actually, right now, I want to get your opinion on this. This is spur of the moment. I didn't prep you for this.
Okay.
Do you think, for broad storytelling purposes, where it's part of a bigger universe as a whole, the majority of time shows actually work better than a standalone movie because of pacing issues? You feel like, because I think that's the case. Like Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian, those have all been really good for me. They've had their bumps and downfalls, but at no point do I feel of this is going too fast. Whereas there's no going back if it is too fast. But if you're taking your time with the show, I feel like it really lends itself to appreciating it more. I don't know. That's just me. No, I've
always felt the same way too. About whether certain stories that they want to tell, I've always felt that it's better to do them in shows because that means like, I don't mean to like, it's still in the same topic, right? But like, I've always said this during my live streams that anytime they always do a video game movie, it's always, a lot of the times, majority of the times, it's shit because they're trying to cram so much in that it just feels like the pacing's always off, man, for the story that they're trying to tell. So I always said that they should start doing them as TV shows and they would work so much better because the first season could be this certain section of the game. You know, the story of it, instead of trying to fit in like, you know, it just works better that way, you know. Like telling the story longer terms or in seasons with like 8-10 episodes is just perfect, you know what I mean?
Certain movies, they definitely lend themselves to a movie,
it
like
just
an actual...
depends on the story that they're trying to tell. Absolutely. So I'm okay with the Disney stuff that they announced, the Mandalorian season 2. I am down with the Obi-Wan thing. I cannot wait to see Ewan McGregor making his comeback as Obi-Wan. Especially because he's at that right age too, man. He's not too old, he's not too young. He's just perfect.
He nailed it out of the park when he played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That was the best part of the prequels for sure.
Oh yeah,
I think I don't think you would disagree with me on that.
No, like I love the prequels. I'm gonna say that. I know a lot of people may disagree with that. I find a lot more to love about.
I liked them when I was younger for sure. Yeah. Now watching them as an adult, I'm like,
there's tons to dislike, and there's a lot of legitimate points where I'm like, I see 100%. But for me, I don't know. I love them all. The prequels, and for me, the standout performance consistently is Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
he's just he's a rock star in that role, and I'm really looking forward to that show.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Cassian Andor, we'll see what they do with this character. I'm gonna stay open-minded about it. Like I said, I'm down because it's Diego Luna. Diego Luna's my boy. And they also just kind of throw this in there. I didn't prep you for this one. They announced season 2 of Narcos Mexico, which he's starring in it. And they just actually released a teaser trailer.
Really?
For Netflix just released a teaser trailer, and apparently it's out in February. So that's a bonus. That was a bonus.
That's cool. But I only watched, I think, snippets and highlights. I don't actually remember much of that show at all.
Yeah.
I remember liking it.
I love the Narcos series. It's like Mexico, it's like his own thing compared to like the first Narcos. So I think the whole thing is great. You should probably watch it. I think start off from season 1 and see if you like it. I know some people are a little different in terms of taste. They don't really like gangster related films with like drugs and all that stuff. So I don't know if you're into that, but I would suggest watching season 1. If you like the first 3 episodes or so, you want to give it a chance, then dude, watch all the other ones because it is amazing content. Yeah. But what's next for the news? Is that it for Star Wars?
That is it. All I have as far as news and for Star Wars on my end. So unless you have other stuff, then
I got a couple things here, and then we can definitely jump into our full review of Grudge.
This has been a news heavy podcast, guys. Thank you so much for sticking through with it.
Right. So the next one that we have here is, give me one second. Margot Robbie confirmed that Jared Leto will not appear as the Joker in Birds of Prey. So this is the thumbs up, man. You're like, yes.
I hated his performance. I hated it. Every ounce of it. I hated it. So I'm like,
I think
this is
honestly,
only good.
I have mixed feelings about it. His portrayal of the Joker. I think the direction he went and the look that they gave him really didn't give him a chance. I feel his frustration about it because he does have like a look to him that could possibly be, the joke. Like I see it. I see why he got casted for it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's just that dude, as soon as his first image came out with him with the fucking tattoos, immediately the shitstorm started from
damaged.
The shitstorm started. Yes, trust me. And then when the movie finally came out and he was barely in the movie too, that was another, gripe. Yep. People were already pissed off at the fact that they had to deal with his look, and the another fact was he was barely in the movie. Yeah, it just. I get his frustration. Man, and I don't think he got a fair shot. But oh well, it's I didn't like his portrayal of the Joker. No, obviously not. But from what we saw, I didn't like. But I think if a different director was on board and kind of
there was also a ton of studio interference with that. I mean, I think we talked about that last podcast a little bit. Like there was a lot of hands in the pot of that, but I don't know if it was even savable. Like the way he laughed.
You're talking about Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah. The way he laughed, like the whole idea of him having that grill that looked god awful, all that, just everything about it. I was like, this is bad.
It was hard to get past the look. It was really hard to get past the look, dude.
Yeah, it was so bad. I don't know if it was savable, but I mean, he's obviously a good actor. I mean, he won an Oscar for his portrayal. I can't remember what movie that was, but it was a really good movie. I can't remember to save it to my life. But he's got the chops. It's just I didn't like his portrayal of Joker, and so I'm very happy I don't have to sit through another betrayal of that. Personally,
I'm not mad at the fact that he's not in the movie. That's fine. I kind of want the movie to be more about I guess I don't really care for this movie, to be honest with you. Like, it's not that I don't care, but I'm just kind of like I have mixed feelings because I don't know where they're gonna go with. You know what it is. I'm confused with the universe. How they're getting rid of certain characters, but they're keeping certain characters. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's no real.
We're getting a brand new Batman.
There's no consistency.
Yeah, there's no consistency. So I'm like fucking confused right now with this whole universe with DC. So I guess maybe I should just not think about it too much.
I think Warner Brothers is just confused as well, and so they're like, "Hey, just make something that makes money.
Let's make a movie out of the best thing that happened at a Suicide Squad. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn." So that's what they're doing, and yeah, I'm fine with this. It's cool. Thank you. I know you're happy about it. So
yeah, I'm actually
some of you guys might be happy about that. So yeah, but another Joker related topic, but. Different Joker, your favorite Joker, sir.
Up there. He's up there.
Phillip has said that he would like to see someone tackle a Batman film set in the version of Gotham City from Joker.
Man, I tell you what, one of the first things I thought about after I got
why don't you do it? Because we would like to see you do that. I would mind. I would have not mind. He already set it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not continue it,
man? The way he did Joker was so good. It's just, I loved that movie so much. And so to see that Joker again, to see that Joker against Batman, or to see even other, I don't know if I'm being too ambitious, but having other parts of his rogue gallery get the same, not the same exact style cut and paste. I'm talking about like in a style appropriate and a directorial appropriate debut and approach and movie for like Mr. Freeze or the Riddler or whoever, where it's a very good movie and an origin. I would love for this to be the birth of a new series. So him saying he wants someone to make a Batman movie set in that particular type of Gotham, hell yes. I'm there day one. I'm there with a ticket for me and my loved ones, and I'm dragging people with me. Like,
I mean, you think I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to get nobody else's hopes up. But do you think it's possible that he's like hinting, like nudge, that Matt Reeves' Batman is probably set in the same universe?
I hope. I doubt it, but I hope. I mean, if it is, thank God. But if it isn't,
because I mean, apparently this movie is not going to be like an origin story of Batman. It's already like it's taking like it from what I'm getting out of Matt Reeves' Batman. It's like it's going to put us into like straight into detective mode of Batman, where he's like already in his missions and stuff. We're not going to get like a whole too much of a backstory about Batman or who he is. It's not going to be a Batman Begins type of thing.
Yeah, so which we don't really need that either.
Yeah, no, we don't. I'm okay with that. That's pretty much what they did with Spider-Man, where he was already Spider-Man. We don't need to go through the whole Uncle Ben thing. So I don't want to get my hopes up. It'll be really cool. And at the end of the movie, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is teased. He doesn't have to come out himself, but it is teased that it's confirmed like that's the Bruce Wayne that we saw.
Yeah, like what if this? I mean, I'm just setting up a fun scenario. What if at the end of the movie, okay, Robert Pattinson's Batman sitting there. He's like, Alfred, it was great. I punched a dude. And Alfred's like, very good, Mr. Wayne, and all that other stuff. And then he's like, well, a box arrived for you. And he opens up the box, and it's a purple-green box. He opens it up, and it's that mask, that plastic mask of the clown mask that Joaquin kept seeing on the street by that one guy wearing in the movie throughout. And it's that mask in the box, and it says like "see you soon" or something on it. That would be a killer way to just tease that. But I hope we'll see. It's a good idea. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm up for that. I like what Todd Phillips is going there. That since he's pretty much trying to get. I feel like he's trying to get people excited and maybe like get people to like talk about this particular thing about his universe that he feels probably he's set up, and I like the realistic approach of villains and hero. I think it's cool. I'm fucking down with this. Yes. All right. So the next bit of news that I have here is I didn't know about this, but I don't know if you know. Do you know Saved by the Bell?
I never watched Saved by the Bell. I originally thought it was a skit. Whenever I would watch Cartoon Network or Disney Channel, I can't remember which channel it was on as a kid. It's just it would mention somewhere, and I'd be like, I've heard of that. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell was a early '90s TV show that I absolutely loved, man. I want to say almost like '80s. I want to say maybe late '80s. Let me double check that.
Yeah, because I grew like I was born in 1994. I know that makes some people feel very old. I apologize, but for the most part, I grew up.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. So it's 89. It released in 89, August 20th, 1989, and then the final episode was 93. So early 90s for sure.
Yeah, that was before my time by the skin of my teeth.
I was born in 89. So
there you go, man.
Yeah, but I didn't. I watched a lot of the. I don't know how I remember a lot of these episodes. You know what I mean? And also reruns. I love Saved by the Bell. I loved it. It's a great.
What is it about? Like I don't even know what it's about.
Well, high school. A lot of the kids from high school like dealing with their certain situations. It's like a comedy, but they also dealt with a lot of serious moments. One particular episode with one of the characters, her name is Jessie. She goes on, she gets addicted to like these caffeine pills and gives off this crazy performance. You can YouTube it.
Shit.
So it kind of deals with a lot of serious scenarios during high school. It was like like kind of like Degrassi or
I remember Degrassi. So it's a lot like that. Did you ever watch Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide?
No.
That one was a comedy show, but it was also dealing with like middle school issues, and so I guess
exactly. It
Saved
deals
by
with
the
a lot
Bell.
of high school, middle school. It's good stuff. It's honestly, it was a good show. I loved it. I have nostalgia for it, and every now and then, I have the DVDs. I'll throw it on in the background, just to have it. It was kind of like My Friends. A lot of people have watch Friends just to have it as background because they already know the episodes or whatever. So this is kind of like whatever. So the same thing for me with Saved by the Bell.
Did they announce
but anyways,
a new one?
Yes, they announced that they are doing a reboot of Saved by the Bell, which is going to be on NBC's streaming service, Peacock. So that's interesting. They're doing a reboot. They casted one of these. They just announced that they cast a lead role in the show. Her name is Josie Tota or Tota. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. She lands the lead role in Saved by the Bell revival. She's known for being on Champions, Glee, Spider-Man: Homecoming. It has been casted. She's been casted as a lead role of Saved by the Bell revival series, currently development at NBC's Peacock, which is set to launch in April.
There's so many streaming services now.
That's another topic. I feel like that's a whole thing. That's a whole episode almost.
There's so many.
Like all these streaming services, man, that it's just there's no point of having TV anymore, like cable at all, because of TV. Obviously, you use your TV to stream this stuff, but like just no point of having cable.
Yeah, like we have YouTube TV,
Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, Crunchyroll if you're into like animated stuff, and then now the NBC Peacock thing, and then there's another one I keep forgetting, but there's so many streaming services, man. So, but this is gonna be like one of their hits, like one of their shows that probably gonna want to get people to subscribe to watch. People like obviously that grew up in the early '90s, to want to watch Saved by the Bell or see what they're gonna do with like a reboot. That's interesting. I'm down with this. So this is really cool. Last bit of news here before we get into our Grudge review, which is
yes,
last Marvel news as well / Disney. Disney Plus confirms WandaVision is coming in 2020 because it was originally going to be it was expected to debut in 2021,
right?
But it got pushed forward.
That's exciting.
To 2020. So yeah, we're getting that soon, man.
I have a friend who has been working on set there. He's a lighting specialist.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's
so you got the inside scoop.
A little bit.
Okay.
He has not told me much, but what he has been able to tell me, because I have pestered him quite often about it, which he allows me to do occasionally. He is really loving the way the show works, which is all he would say.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of has me wondering, because I know that they said that it was a sitcom, but also epic thing. I don't even know what the hell.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going with, because even the if you guys want to Google the image to Wanda and Vision, the images of Vision in human form, and then Wanda, sitting with him on the couch, but it looks like a 1950s TV show, kind of. It's weird, but I think that I don't know. I feel like it's going to connect with either Doctor Strange or something.
I think it 100% will.
I'm interested. I want to watch already.
Just the way he said he likes the way it works has me going like, what does that mean? Because you don't think, hey, I like this show in the way it works. You just I like this show. So that means that there's something to it with how it's. I'm excited for this, and the fact that it's coming 2020.
I know, right? And I'm just excited for Disney Plus, all the stuff they're coming out with Marvel and Star Wars. Just give me all the content I need, please.
Dude, Disney Plus has been just beating us over the head with content, and it's a wonderful thing. I love it.
And I cannot wait. So this is definitely a plus for us. But that's it for a bit of news, guys. Thank you
we ran
so
a marathon.
Much. We got through it finally. We had a lot of thoughts. We even kind of went off a little bit on certain things, but I think we stayed on stayed on par with most of the stuff. But yeah,
at least we only have one review this time.
Yeah, we have one review.
That's it.
Which is going to be a spoiler review. Just letting you guys know now would be a good time if you plan on wanting to watch this movie. Definitely tab out, but I appreciate you guys for listening to us or watching us wherever you guys are. But we are going to definitely get into the whole spoiler review of The Grudge. Yes. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. You want to go ahead and give a well, first of all,
yes,
let me go ahead and give a shout out to two of my buddies that went to go watch this fucking movie with me, man.
Okay.
And I say fucking, okay? You guys are about to know why I said fucking once for them with this whole thing. I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Anthony and Juan. I'm so sorry I wasted your fucking time, dude. I feel so bad, dude, because I was watching them and there was a point where we kept looking at each other. We're just nodding our heads. Like, the fuck are we watching, dude? This is crazy. But you have a story about your theater experience, right? Yep. How did that go?
Oh, dude, it was garbage. So it wasn't playing at the theater that I normally go to, because I think they had the foresight to say this is gonna be a hot garbage. So they were like, we're not even gonna show this. So I drove an hour out of my way to go see this thing. Went to the theater, and there was, I think, 30 or more, a party of 30 or more high school girls who all sat in the very front row, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there, me and my wife, just casual people, all right, we probably aren't going to enjoy this, but we're going to give it the best shot we can. They're on their phones. They're throwing candy. Some of it's making our way all the way in the back towards us. I don't know how. And then there's a few other couples. There's an old couple over here who are I actually heard them say these ramschools, which I have not heard in a long time. then the movie's starting, and everyone's like, okay. Every single jump scare, which I will tell you this, none of it's scary. None of it scared me at any point in this movie. And I kind of scare easily. It didn't scare us so much so me and my wife started counting the jump scares. We got to 33. There's 33 of these things. And each and every single one of them, all 30 of the girls would freak the fuck out. They would scream at the top. I felt the theater shake at certain points with some of these. And I'm like, this is the audience for this movie. There is an audience out there for this stuff. And that they had it. It was fantastic for that reason. Yeah. But other people, myself included, if I could have got up and left, did get up and leave, which I have never witnessed many
people actually get up and leave.
Getting up and leaving the theater for how bad this movie was.
I'll be completely honest with you, man. I was there, but I stood my ground. I was at a point where I wanted to tell my two friends, dude, let's just fucking leave. But it's like, I want to review this shit show for my audience, our peoples. And so
we suffer.
They don't waste their money because
we suffer for you, so you guys don't have to. If you want to look at it that way.
Let's go ahead and get into it a little bit. Can you give us a brief synopsis of what this, what is this film about exactly?
Well, a really quick summary would be the plot of The Haunting of Hill House, but bad. Where basically there's this lady who was in Japan, which I guess is how they're saying it's tied to the original Japanese one.
Yes, it's basically a sequel to the original Ju-on, which is basically better known as The Grudge.
Right.
And it starts off with the lady that you were describing. I'm assuming she's either, they never really say if she's a detective or if she's a investigative reporter. But she's there. She's obviously American.
Yeah, she isn't there long enough to even care what she does. She goes to the cursed place in Japan. She brings the spook with her all the way to this other house in America, and the spook is all like, "Hey, guess what? Don't want to alarm you. Now you got to kill your family." So that happens, and then the movie kind of does a weird, and it's almost kind of tied weirdly with like The Witcher, but. The different timeline cuts back and forth of this house and victims it's had, and I can see what it was going for as well. Let me back up. Two cops are the primary. The two cops are primary antagonists of this. I guess,
guys, I know. This is. It may sound like a mess that he's describing because it is a mess. Like it's just this film goes from. It jumps back between years. So let me go ahead and try to describe this. So in the beginning, this reporter, right? She's in Japan. She calls her husband or whoever, "Hey, you know what? I'm going back to the States. And my work is done." Because this house, something about this house is, there's an entity that just feels, or something just feels off about this house, right? She got freaked out, so she says that she's going home, right? So she called her husband. She says she's going home, or whatever. You can hear her daughter in the background. "Oh, mommy's coming home," or whatever. And as she's about to hang up, you see the Grudge entity behind her, and it's just like doing the iconic sound, which is the or whatever, right? Yeah. And she turns around, it's not there, and so she just goes back to the States, and she goes home, and they introduce, or she goes, to her husband and her daughter. But the best part is the fucking shitty dialogue in this movie, man, because when she gets home, "I'm home." It's just like, whoa, what? Like the way she said it too was like a very cheesy TV. It wasn't like,
it was a first take, and we got it. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yes, that's what it was. She goes home. She goes, I'm home. The daughter runs and the husband give her a hug. And guess what? The movie jumps 2 years later.
No,
2000. Oh no, it jumps like 4 years later because this is 2002. This is 2002 that is taking place, and then it jumps to 2006.
Yeah,
right. The 2006, and this is when it jumps to 2006. It jumps to the main protagonist of the film, or the main person that we're going to be following majority of the film, which is
I don't even know the name of the character.
Yeah, so it's
Lady
the mother's
Cop.
name. Well, was her the actress name is Andrea Riseborough. They refer to either her as Mom or Detective Muldoon. Or Muldoon. That's it. Like she don't have a first name. It's just I even looked it up on IMDb, and they never referred to her as anything else. Nope. She doesn't have a first name. It's just Detective and then Mom, because she has a son. It's just her and her son living alone. And apparently the dad is not around anymore for whatever reason. I'm assuming he passed away, which they don't even say how or what happened exactly.
What they did with this movie is they said, how can we, with all the other kind of horror reboots that are doing so well, like even if you didn't love it, Child's Play, the new one, did well in the box office. You have Halloween, you have It, you have all these other ones that are coming out. They're doing great. And so they're like, you know what we could do? Let's do Grudge. They're like, okay, I need a script by Monday, and it's Saturday night. Go for it. And the first draft is what they made the movie off of. The dialogue, the pacing, the cutting back and forth.
The pacing is awful. The pacing is very awful.
There's things that happen, and then there's other things that happen, and there's like no explanation of how we got point A to point B. You're just like, okay, we're here now. We're doing this.
Yeah.
My favorite entire moment of this entire movie.
Hold on. Before we get there, because I know, trust me, we're gonna go off. But I just want to get this point across here, or kind of give people, the brief synopsis here.
Okay.
So she moves with her son to basically, was it Cities Down? I don't remember what city they're in. Do you remember the name of the city?
I don't.
No. Okay, so they move to a new city, right? It's just her and her son. They leave. They move into a new house, which isn't the Grudge house or anything. It's just a random house. She's there because she's a detective. Yep. So pretty much the entire film, we're following her, and her as a cop, and her and her partner, her new partner from the new city that she's working at, a detective in investigations, and it just so happens that her partner dealt with that house of the Grudge
when that murder that happened, when that lady brought the bad juju of the Grudge with her from Japan. He dealt with that investigation with his old.
Yes, basically, there's like reoccurring deaths happening, and it all seems that to be tied back to that specific house from that lady that came back with the entity to that house, and it jumps from year to year from people that walked in and out of that house, or
they put their toe inside. If they put their toe in, you're dead.
If you even go in the house, that entity follows you home or whatever, haunts you until like you freak the fuck out, or until it decides to take over your body and want you to murder your family.
Yeah,
or friends.
It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate old man of get off my lawn.
Yeah.
It's a good way. It is the ultimate version of that.
Like to put a bit easier to comparison, it's what The Shining, what's the other movie called?
Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep. No. I'm just referring to movies where an entity kind of takes over their body and makes them want to fucking kill their family, or they've been hearing voices and stuff like that.
That's any possession movie ever.
Yeah, right. Any possession movie, right? But in this movie, it's just it jumps from different families the entire movie, guys. There's never yes, there is that one particular detective woman and her son, but it doesn't stay with them the entire time. it goes to different families in different locations, and it's just I'm like fucking confused the entire time. Because I'm like, wait, what year is this? And then no, you'll know what year it is because every time it goes back to a new year or goes back in between throughout the movie, there's fucking text that go over the screen.
So says huge.
2004, 2006. 2002, like it jumps between years throughout the entire movie, and there's text. You'll know when you're in that year because back to 2004. No, wait, 2006 now. What the fuck, dude? Like, stay with one family. Like, I just wish, like, I like the idea of the fact that it was taking the perspective of the cops, like doing the investigation.
I agree.
Like these murderers, like that was really cool. I thought that's what they're gonna go with because the movie starts off strong, where it's like, oh, she's gonna move in and then she's gonna do detective work and it's gonna link up. Okay, cool. I like this so far, but no. Once she moves there and you get that little taste of like, okay, she's a detective, it starts jumping around to different fucking families, dude. And you never really care about any of these characters. You just don't.
No.
None of these characters, like, they don't matter to you. Trust me. Like, it's really stupid.
Okay, so there was another thing, too. So there's a moment, which, all right, I'll just go ahead and say it because we're talking spoilers. Well, actually, no. Let's finish the synopsis. Basically, everything culminates. People are dying in the most unscary way possible in like every situation. But then there's just jump scares that are happening to just make sure you're awake.
Okay, that's another thing. All right, so basically, that's pretty much the story. It jumps back and forth to different families that either, or that stepped foot in that specific house that lady brought back from Japan. So even the realtors that dealt with that family, which is one of the characters, John Cho.
Yeah.
His name is Peter Spencer in the
He wasn't
film.
bad. He wasn't bad.
I honestly, dude, I'm being completely honest with you. Most of these actors are not bad at all. I think they're all great actors. It's just a shit script, a shit story, and shit dialogue, dude.
And editing.
That they were given. And the editing was fucking awful. I felt bad, dude, because I like most of these actors. Well, majority of them like are great and on any other film. It's just this one. It was fuck.
It was so bad,
dude. No, yes. So, but back to John Cho's character. He gets introduced, and he's taking place in the year of 2004. Just FYI.
See, I didn't even know when he took place.
Okay, 2002 is the family with the lady that brought back the entity. 2004 is John Cho's family, and in 2006 is the president or the detective. And it jumps back between the 3 years, back and forth, and it's just like. It's just a fucking roller coaster, man. And now I want to get into the scares of the movie. Oh my God, man. Scares. What scares? Were you fucking scared at all? Like, be honest.
At no point was I scared. There was one that happened that was supposed to be a scary moment, and it was the funniest moment in the entire movie for me. I laughed out loud.
Please tell me it's the same one I'm thinking. Go ahead.
Well, in part, it's because of a guy who, after this moment, did leave the theater. But it's this lady who comes to the house who is I guess, assisted suicide specialist. And she's there.
I didn't understand that either. So basically, this lady... I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you're fine.
From what I got, and I want you to continue here. From what I got, is this lady comes to your house and basically wants to put your family member or significant other to basically just put them to sleep if they're like dealing with like a disease, if they're really sick, just basically put them to sleep in their own home. It's from what I understood. That's what she does.
Exactly, that's what she does. And so she went to this house. This is the spooky house, by the way. So, she's going to die because she stepped in there. But anyway, she was supposed to try and help this old woman who I guess is seeing the ghost. And she's
was living there at the time. This is basically taking place in 2004. This is John Cho's John Cho's the realtor. He's not living in the house, but he goes in and out of that house. But he's the realtor to the family that is currently living there, which is an older man, an older gentleman.
Yes.
And then
she's there to help with the old lady because the old lady's kind of lost her mind, and she's seeing the little girl, and I guess the other. Anyway, so the point that made me absolutely laugh is that she finally pieces it together. She's been seeing shit the whole time she's there. Okay? Like, she's seeing evil things happen. She goes up to the lady, and
the older lady that's living there, right?
She's like chopping her fingers. It's very obvious she's chopping her fingers.
Which, by the way, this lady that he's referring to, the older lady, is played by Lynn Shay. Her name is Faith Matheson in the film. Lynn Shay is a terrific actor. I like her. She's been in a lot of scary movies. She's been in Insidious? Yes. She's been in Conjuring. I know she was in one of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. She was just in a whole bunch of different scary movies. You'll know who I'm talking about, Lynn Shay, if you Google her name. She, especially from Insidious, she's a spirit lady that comes to the house and stuff. So she's a great actress, by the way. Like I said,
she
all
did
these actors, great stuff. It's just a shitty script, shitty storyline, and pretty much what Tim's about to describe is probably one of the stupidest fucking scenes in this movie. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
So she's sitting there on the countertop, like cutting her fingers, and the lady
you can't even see it either. You can't see what she's cutting. Looks like she's cutting vegetables because on the left and right of her are like carrots and an onion. And so she's just chopping away.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the lady comes up and she goes, "I think your house is haunted." Like that. And then the 1-2 punch happened to me. So the guy next to me who's been upset at this movie the entire time and not shy about saying it, yells at the screen, "No shit, Sherlock." Like, he just screams that at the screen, which was hilarious. Then she turns the what's her name with the knife, turns around looking at the old lady and is like showing her bloody hand, and she gives the worst scream I've ever heard in a movie. It's literally, if you type out A with a bunch of H's afterward with no passion or fear, it's just that scream was the scream. In that moment, I was like, "What is this movie?" Like,
so she screams when she sees her. She runs out the house and she just books it. She just fucking leaves. She doesn't like run out the house, call 911, or go to the neighbor's house or something.
The whole while doing that shit scream, mind you, it was hilarious. I could not contain my laughter because I don't think there's a worse way.
The whole point of this lady chopping her fingers off was the fact that the entity already had taken over her body, the older lady.
Yes.
So that's why it was making her just fucking. She killed her husband, and then now at that time she was just chopping off her fingers because I guess the Grudge said, "Hey, cut your fingers off," because that's what it was making her do.
It'll be a good spook, trust me.
That's what it does. It basically makes you want to kill your family and then kill yourself. Anybody that steps foot inside that house deals with it. So that lady that took off the spirit, or not the spirit lady, the lady that was going to put her to sleep pretty much, takes off, gets in a car accident because she sees the Grudge in the rear view mirror.
One of the ghosts.
Yeah, one of the spirits, and she fucking crashes and dies.
Which they found her body earlier in the movie, and then
wait. Go ahead.
For some reason, they felt the need, as if we couldn't put it together, to show a flashback of a scene we've already seen of them coming across.
So the whole point of them jumping back and forth is because it's doing what most movies and shows, or not most, but a lot of movies and shows like to do, where it's just like, okay, these pieces don't make sense yet, but at the very end, it's all gonna make sense. All gonna make sense. I promise you.
The aha moment
Connects. Yeah, the aha moment. So that's the whole point of them jumping from year to year, like going back and forth, like going 2006, 2002, 2004, 2006, 2002, 2004, 2006. That's the whole point. Like, what the fuck? And so the way that John chose, there's a specific scene that I just could not stop fucking I laughed so loud that I had to cover my mouth because I was like, oh my god, like I didn't mean to fucking laugh, but my buddy next to me, Anthony, he just looked at me like he started laughing too because of how stupid it was. So John Cho's character goes there to deliver some papers to get them signed for the house or whatever, right? And there's nobody there, but you know, he knocks, he opens, he finally just goes in. And he hears things, so he goes upstairs, and he hears like a little girl or whatever. Yeah. And apparently, this is the little girl from back to 2002. That lady that came back from Japan, her daughter. Yes, I guess she drowned because the mother took over. The mother from Japan, and had the entity in her. Killed her husband and her daughter, drowned her daughter. And
which, did you see the way
killed herself?
She did that with her daughter.
That was brutal. I think that was the only brutal scene.
I was like,
She drowned her daughter, but not only drowned her, slammed her face in the tub, and so that's how the daughter died. So that's why anytime they see the little girl, it's because that's the lady from the mother from Japan come back. Right. That was her daughter. So basically, John Cho goes to this house and he hears the little girl upstairs in the bathtub. He goes there, and this is the basic horror movie trope. You hear things in there. Not only that, but there's black water there. And what do you think he's going to do? Of course, he's going to get closer and closer, closer to the point where it's just like, okay, just fucking grab this dude's face already. What do you think happened? They grab his face. He freaks out, runs downstairs. He sees another ghost and he fucking books it in a closet. That's where I lost it. He books it in a closet. He stands there, and then he, through like the crack of the closet, he sees the entity just walk by and just leave. And he gets a phone call from his wife, and he looks at the phone, closes it. He's like, all right, it's cool to leave now. As he was about to leave, what do you think happens next? The fucking ghost is in the closet with him. Of course, dude. Like any basic horror movie trope. And we don't see what happens to him. We just see that it jumps on him, and that's it. It cuts to black, and it cuts to the wife that was calling him. His wife, his pregnant wife, by the way.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah, so her pregnant wife is at home. She's trying to get a hold of him, but nothing happens. And then next thing you know, she hears something in the house. She goes in, something in her home. She goes to go check it out, and sure enough, it is it's her husband. She's like, oh my god, you freaked me out. I was trying to reach you. Are you okay? What's going on? He's not answering her, and he grabs the knife from the kitchen drawer, and
then he does this.
He chases the fuck out of her. It cuts to black, and then it jumps back into day, and she's murdered, gutted open, killed her and his baby, and then he cut himself, and then he drowned in the in his own blood. He pretty much drowned in his own blood, and that was it. We didn't even get to see the kill. We didn't get to see the kill at all.
Didn't he drown himself in the bathtub?
In the bathtub, with his own blood. So it's just, And so after all that shitstorm is happening during this whole time, right? Back to the detective lady, as she's she's listening to tapes, recordings of these families that are being investigated of these murders. Right. So this is it. We're getting closer to the end here.
If you guys feel like it's dragging on, it's because the movie is
drags the fuck on with pointless shit, dude. It's so bad. Terrible.
So anyway, she's investigating.
I'm trying my best to describe it here, guys. Trust me, it may seem like a mess because it is a fucking mess.
Oh, it's bad.
It is. Trust me, the way I'm describing it now is a lot easier to understand than watching the movie.
Yeah, he's going bullet points. I mean,
yeah. So goes back to the detective lady throughout this entire time, throughout the film, while it's jumping back and forth through years. Anytime it jumps back to her, she's basically trying to figure out what's happened to all these people that had to deal with this house. And as that's happening, she already had stepped in the house one time, and so that entity was pretty much fucking with her the entire movie.
Yep.
She'll see images or she'll see things, you know what I mean? And finally she decides that she wants to fucking like leave. She freaks out. Because she like her days pretty much it just gets worse and worse and worse. Right? So she freaks out, she decides to want to leave. And she takes her son and she decides to want to burn the house down.
Now, where does she take her son to protect him?
I don't remember that.
To the house.
She takes him straight to the house because she tells him, or the son tells her, "Where are we going, mommy? I got to do something."
She's like, "I have to protect you."
I have to do something. She takes him straight to the fucking house, like
and rolls the window down.
The one house, dude, that she was trying to protect her son. Now, keep in mind, before she does this, right? Keep in mind, she's been investigating everything about this house, about the families and stuff, and even the lady that came back from Japan. She's been listening to audio tapes and all this stuff, right? And even reading everything about these reports, right? The first lady that went to Japan, she mentions that she brought something with her back to the house. It wasn't the house in Japan. She brought it with her. So this entity latches onto people. Even with her knowing that, she still thinks that burning the fucking house down is a good idea. Like, that's gonna matter. It's not the house, it's the entity.
Well, let me say this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Closet arsonists are a real issue in America today. And anytime they have a chance to commit arson, they'll take it. And this was her option.
Oh my god, yeah. So her knowing this, right? Which they don't refer to it again about, the entity, latching to people, but she should know that already. Like, dude, she's been reading reports the entire film.
And that wasn't even like 25 minutes ago in the movie that
she's learned this entire thing from the beginning, that this thing latches onto people. And so she finally burns the fucking house down and she takes her son back to where they used to live, right? It cuts back to their normal life. Seems like everything's okay. She sees her son down the hall. She's like, "Oh, you ready for school, son?" She gives him a hug, right? She's like, "I hope you have a good day at school." And in the background, you see her real son walk back there.
He'd be like, "Bye, bitch."
Casually just grabs his backpack. "I'm going to school, Mom." And he just dips, right? And as she's holding who she thinks is her son, realizes that this is the entity. And the thing, she pans away and it's the little girl from the house. And one of the grudges fucking pulls her hair and it just ends there.
And the way the credits did.
And the credits, and there's no music, by the way. It pans away to the house. It's a frame of the house with just the credits
text
rolling by. Yeah,
it was weird.
No music, no nothing. And everybody was like, "What?" in the theaters?
Yeah.
And I just felt like I needed to just kind of meme out a little bit, so I decided to be the first one to clap. Everyone looked at me, dude. Like, are you serious? Like, I just clapped for like as a joke.
Oh my god, dude, that's top tier.
Looked at me like, "What?" I was like, I just give it a one clap, just like that.
No, you should have done. What's that movie? Where Shia LaBeouf like parodied it, where you just slowly build up speed and you stand up and you're like,
no, I just did the one clap, and then people look like,
dude.
That's pretty much it for this movie, guys. Like, it does the basic horror movie tropes, the jump scares, the basic jump scares that you would not get scared of. You know it's coming every time. You'll know when it's coming.
It's I believe it's a 90-minute movie-ish, and I think I'm pretty confident with there's 33 jump scares in that thing, which means once every 3-ish minutes you're going to get a very boring jump scare.
Yeah. No, it's not scary. The film's not scary at all. Like, you have to be really, really sensitive to just like horror movies, I guess. But like, it's just, dude, I'm telling you guys, it's not worth your fucking time.
No.
Save your money. Just wait for a better one. This is not like, I got debated because the trailer was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
The best shot in the trailer was that hand in the shower.
Yeah,
and they even used it on the poster. That was like a 10-second moment and then nothing.
No, that was it. Yeah.
And I'm like, the hell?
Yeah, the trailer was really, really good. But let me talk about one thing that I did not mention was the best thing about this movie.
Ooh.
Is the dog, right? There's a dog. His name is Frank. And she's owned by the lady, the detective lady, and her son. Which, by the way, doesn't come out anywhere in the beginning. That whenever they're moving, he's in a car with her, going to the next city where they're moving to. He's not in that car, by the way. Right? So, okay. Not a big deal. This is the beginning of the film. Yeah. And then randomly, she's like doing an investigative report, like, doing her investigation throughout the film. She's doing that. She's investigating about these houses and these killings. She's at home reading it, and her dog licks her, or I assume dog, because it comes out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, where the fuck did this dog come from? He's adorable. No, he's a lab, from Marley. Adorable dog. Licks her leg, and she's like, oh, stop it, Frank, or whatever. And then Frank walks away, and she goes back to reading or whatever, and she feels like a lick again. She's like, Frank, you need to stop it. And then she looks, no one's there to lick her leg. And then Frank comes around the corner, the little dog is just like,
he's like, bitch, what the hell is wrong?
This bitch is crazy, dude. That was the dog, the little head tilt, dude. He's like, this bitch is crazy.
Dude, and the imagery in my mind of the ghost going like, this will get her.
Yeah. I want to talk about this dog real quick, because that might be one of the only times you ever get to see him again, except during the last bit moments when shit starts to happen. She's at her house and she starts to see things or whatever. The dog comes out one more time, but he's like barking at something, right? And usually dogs are good with spirits, like they'll know if something is up, like it's like a bad energy, like they'll they'll bark at it or they'll growl or whatever. That time where she was getting her leg licked, he didn't bark at anything, like if he didn't sense anything. But that one other moment starts barking like crazy at this, assuming like that's the Grudge that's in her house or whatever. And that's the last time we see of Frank. Whenever she leaves to that house, takes her son, she's like, oh, I'm going to take you safe to go burn the house. The dog's not in the car. Towards the end of the movie, whenever he's like hugging, her son, and they're back to their normal life, the dog is nowhere to be seen. So Frank is missing, guys.
Frank got out of there that one night where everything went to shit. He's like, all right, bye.
Fuck these guys.
You're crazy for staying here, is what he said, and he left.
I felt like I needed to bring up Frank in his review because he's literally the best thing about this film is the dog, man. The doggo lives on forever.
I was gonna get mad if they killed the dog.
I was gonna get mad if they killed off the dog too.
Because I was like, this is a shit movie. Don't take the dog. You don't have a right.
Yeah.
So
I want to get down to the ratings. Go ahead, Tim. You go first. What do you think of this film? What do you give it?
Fucking burnt. Easy. It's a crisp. It's so burnt. It's not even good for Ash. Don't ever look at this movie.
1 out of 5.
Yeah, it's garbage. Your thoughts? I mean, I can't say more than that.
Dude, I almost walked the fuck out. Like I wanted to. I haven't felt like that in a long time. Where I just like, dude, so stupid. But it was funny. It was funny. It was funny, even though it wasn't supposed to be funny. The movie was funny.
The most entertaining part was the audience for me. Like those girls
for me,
screaming their lungs out.
For me, it was the dog, and then the audience they were definitely hit or miss. They were just like, eh. Like I heard a couple, eh. And
that one
maybe
guy,
a chuckle. I heard a couple chuckles.
Literally was like, no shit, Sherlock, I think is exactly what he said. That was the highlights.
I definitely would like to give this movie a 1 out of 5 as well. Extra fucking burnt, dude. If I can give it a 0, I would.
Yeah.
Do not go see this movie, guys. Don't waste your time. Just save your money. Wait for Bad Boys. Or there's a new movie coming out next week, which we are going to review, called Underwater, which is basically another horror movie, but hopefully a lot better. Which I think, dude, they set the fucking bar pretty damn low that I think any movie this year is going to be a lot better than The Grudge, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Underwater,
1 out of 5 for sure.
Has the the thing in the Underwater's court for me, for what my hopes are for it and why I kind of think it might be okay, it looks like an original concept.
It is, but it does remind me a lot. Well, the concept reminds me of The Abyss. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
It's that's a beautiful movie. I love that movie.
So it reminds me. That's the idea that I'm getting.
Yeah,
a group of people go down underwater and then they find
something.
We don't know if it's underwater creatures, if it's aliens down there. We don't know what it is exactly. Which that'll probably be our next movie that we are going to review next week, guys. Is going to be Underwater. So expect the full review of that.
Yep.
But I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Sorry if we ended up, going a little bit longer. We probably went longer than the last episode.
Well, I think what made this one so long is the news. The news this week was crazy.
Yeah, we tried to fit it. We even tried to cut things out. We probably cut one thing out, guys, because there was so much newsworthy stuff that we wanted to talk about that I think you guys might have enjoyed, and hopefully you guys did enjoy.
I do want to say before we call it the podcast is we do plan on, in case you guys are wondering, because I know that some people have mentioned it in Jimmy's chat, we do want to review The Witcher, but we're going to have that happen later on once we kind of get caught up with everything and have a chance to record that, but it is coming. Do you have any other thoughts?
The Witcher will be out. We're gonna do a full review of The Witcher very soon.
Yeah.
Almost done. I'm 2 episodes away. So whenever I'm actually done, he's waiting on me. He already finished it. So whenever I'm done watching it, we'll have a mini review out for you guys. So that'd be great. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate your guys' love and support for the podcast. And not only that, just for the whole channel in general, even the reactions. I know you guys have been liking it. So if you guys can do us a huge favor and always like the videos whenever you can, share them on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you guys can possibly get the word out. That
MySpace.
Amazing. MySpace, sure.
Put it out there.
So anyways, thank you guys so much again for watching. Tim, we'll see you soon as well, sir.
Yep.
Thank you again, guys. Remember, every Wednesday, expect an episode. If anything does happen and we can't, do an episode for that week, we will tweet it out on our own personal Twitters or the What's Poppin podcast Twitter. Yes. That we will go ahead and we'll have the links down below for you guys to check out. We'll tweet out saying that there's not going to be an episode this week, but we'll make up. So anyways, it was nice hanging out with you guys. Take it easy. Don't go watch The Grudge.
Save your
money. Save your money, man. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.